We are now examining Kuo Hsueh-hu's 1928 painting titled Scenery near Yuan Shan. This is a painting that established Kuo Hsueh-hu as an important Taiwanese artist. He painted it at the age of 20. What is there to see here? The key landmarks around Yuan Shan, including the hills and the Meiji Bridge, and the important pathway are all clearly rendered. Looking down at the Jilong River from Jiantan Mountain towards Yuan Shan, we can see Datun Mountain far into the distance. The painter has decorated the sky with pink and rosy clouds. Judging from the many drafts and color sketches he made in preparation for the final painting, we can see that Kuo had thought about drawing the hillside around Yuan Shan, and he made some changes. It is clear that he pondered the final imagery of the clouds for some time before settling on the stripe-shaped rosy clouds. We also see 5 little egrets to the left edge of the frame. He tried drawing different numbers of egrets or none at all. He eventually settled on 5. The conclusion is Kuo Hsueh-hu gave much thought to composition and the selection of elements in the frame. He wanted to add human activity to natural scenery. He chose to paint a peasant woman dressed in Japanese-style clothing working in the field. From the earlier drafts he made, we can see that he initially painted 2 peasants. He elected to simplify the human element for the finished painting. He decided to draw one woman turning and looking at the vegetables she had grown. Juxtaposing human activities against the natural scenery adds some life to the painting. Other than depicting human activities in nature, Kuo Hsueh-hu also rendered different types of vegetation in detail. It is as if he was studying an entire spectrum of plants. Therefore, he painted them with discernible details, such as the Chinese fountain palms, corns, sunflowers, bamboo, and china berries. The natural scenery on canvas is the result of Kuo's emphasis on formalism and elegance. As for the colors, he combined various shades of green as well as khaki in order to render the painting with a uniform tone without making it look monotonous. Kuo, at 20 years of age, was able to project images in his head onto canvas, with brushstrokes that render painstaking details. This showcases his skills in composition. Otherwise, how can a patch of green be turned into a painting with a sense of life and motion? I believe this is what is so enticing about the work of the young man. Kuo's attention to all details throughout the canvas was later on studied by many other painters. In Taiwan's painting exhibits, we saw more and more painters who began to draw natural sceneries with dense elements filling the frame. Some even coined a name for this particular style of painting, calling it the Hsueh-hu school. Kuo's teacher Tsai Hsueh-si and some of the younger emerging painters in Taipei at the time, such as Cai Yong, all adopted Kuo's style of painting. They sought to render a sense of rhythm and formality across their canvases when they depict the natural sceneries of Taiwan. When we look at another award-winning painting made in 1931, titled After the Rain, also by Kuo Hsueh-hu, It is a prime example of a Hsueh-hu style painting. Another painter, Tsai Yong, also painted the Zhishan Trail, and we can use it for comparison. Kuo's painting of the Zhishan hiking trail and of Yuan Shan, both culturally important landmarks in northern Taiwan, have shown rich cultural and historical significance. After the Rain is similar to scenery near Yuan Shan in that it contains rich local vegetation. Kuo even added some of the beautiful vegetation straight from his imagination. He has spent much time in local libraries. It is believed that he read many books on plants. This explains the many precise details of the plants in his work. For instance, the China berries in scenery near Yuan Shan are not blossoms. However, when we look at the China berry trees in After the Rain, they are fully blossomed with purple flowers. It's visible across the canvas. The route from Yuan Shan to the Zhishan Trail is an important pathway in northern Taiwan. Judging from the sparse plants seen across the land in the painting scenery near Yuan Shan, and the more closely grown vegetation around the Zhishan Trail, it's clear that Kuo Hsueh-hu has developed the unique capability of rendering minor differences in nature. We can also see some of the motifs to which he kept returning, such as the peasant woman in the Yuan Shan painting. In After the Rain, a Taiwanese farmer is instead painted as the main human subject. Also, Kuo painted the modern-style Meiji Bridge next to Yuan Shan, whereas in After the Rain, he chose to paint a traditional Taiwanese-style bridge. This serves as a clear contrast. We can find more similar details across the natural sceneries. Kuo Hsueh-hu did not simply sketch the sceneries as they were. His placement of the elements creates a sense of connection and contrast. That's his intent, though it's not obvious at first glance. The Huichi Temple next to Zhishan Trail and the city gate, as well as some of the very ancient walls, pavilions, lamps, and the 100+ steps of stairs, all these details are exquisitely placed by Kuo Hsueh-hu on a canvas less than 200 centimeters wide. To put these elements together and arrange them neatly, I think this is how Kuo Hsueh-hu processes the sceneries he sees, and how he renders them on canvas with a unique touch. This is why his paintings are so riveting.